Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Good evening. We'll call this meeting to order. And I've asked Councilman Corey Durr to lead us in the pledge and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in prayer. Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for this opportunity to bring our community together to make decisions to just continue to improve our community for your glory. And thank you for sending your son Jesus to die for us, and just please give us the wisdom to make good decisions for our community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, start things off. I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Amanda seconds. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We approve the agenda. Rolling right along. Your next item is item D, citizen comments. Give anybody an opportunity in 3 minutes to address the council. We're having screen difficulties, but if anyone would like to speak, we'll go ahead and open citizen comments.
It's frightening too. That's not me moving there.
Go Macy's.
It's a good 1990s reboot.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Thank you. Apologize for the inconvenience.
That'll do it every time.
Okay, we're all together now. There isn't anybody come up to speak, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and we'll close citizen comments and move on to item E on the agenda. Just want to check and see if anyone has any council members have any conflicts of interest or relate to tonight's meeting. No, so we're good on that. Now to item F. And we've got appointments and proclamations, recognitions, nominations, and Assistant City Administrator gonna do the introductions?
Yes, just a good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a brief this on.
Yeah, no, it should be on. Yeah.
Now it's on.
No.
All right. And now, yeah, there we go. Okay. Yes, just a very this first item. We have with us this evening members of Prairie Travelers, and so I am going to ask them to come to the podium and make their presentation. You do have some information on the bench that they have provided for you, and they're here. So I'm going to turn it over to them.
Very good.
Good evening. My name is Ruth Holiday and I'm the Secretary for Prairie Travelers. Many of you may not have been around in the early 2000s, and that's when the possibility of converting an old railroad bed into a trail for promoting healthy, active lifestyles became a concept and a possibility that we just had to pursue. Having ridden to California on my bike 20 years earlier, I yearned for safety while riding and realized that I was not alone. Thanks to the support of both of the City of Wichita for guidance and to the Goddard mayor at the time, Larry Zimmerman, We were able to convert what was an abandoned railroad yard full of debris, believe it or not, and trash, into what you know now as the Prairie Sunset Trail Linear Park. It was not easy, and it took years before we completed the Prairie Sunset Trail, which is now 15 miles. The handout you each have is our history and our timeline for the last 28 years, as well as the results of a trail counter that we switch every few months to a different location along the trail. Our trail counter downloads our numbers daily, giving us a real view of Prairie Sunset Trail's usage. And right now it's a Garden Plain, and Jim Whitted is our number man that changes where the location of the counter is. I cannot say enough about our volunteers, our previous volunteers that have passed away, our board members, as well as families and businesses that adopt a mile to help us with maintenance. But the first mile, and the first family to adopt a mile was Larry and Jean Zimmerman. Originally it was from 199 to 215, and then when the city became a park, theirs was from Walnut to 215, and to this day he still helps maintain it. So without any further ado, I'll pass the mic to Larry, who is the reason the Prairie Sunset Trail exists, because without his early support, we would not have a Prairie Sunset Trail.
Bruce, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll be your holder.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for the opportunity to be here. Man, it just seems like yesterday when this came about. Cecile Kallenbarger and Larry Ross came to me in my office when I was mayor and had this concept that we could save the downtown area and 8 miles of trail and make it into a park. They helped share that vision with me. But little did I know how much conflict there was going to be. I almost needed an armed guard to keep me safe the first couple of years because of all the people on both sides of the trail that wanted that land and didn't have that vision that we had. But I'm so thankful that we were able to get things going, and we were able to start cleaning up. Ruth was a big part of it, Larry Hatfield, John Moore, many others that have passed away. And you see what it is today. We were instrumental in making the first oval. We got a grant for that and helped the vision to see what could be. And then we leased downtown park to the city for 100 years. I think you got a good deal. We're so happy that you helped see our vision and helped expand on our vision with the North Park and helped create the water park that's there now and helped us to make this something that is a key component of keeping your downtown vibrant. So I want to present to you this award. I'll go ahead and let you do it, Gwen.
Okay. My name's Gwen Whitted, and I am the president of Prairie Travelers right now. And so we would like to present this plaque to Mayor Levy and the city of Goddard.
Why don't you stand?
Yeah, here.
Okay,
Over here.
sorry.
There you go.
This is really awesome.
It's an original.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Could we get another picture with Larry?
Sure,
beside you?
you bet, yeah.
Larry,
Absolutely.
I just want to say to the Prairie Travelers group that there isn't a day goes by. Here, yeah, we'll do one. Let's put the plaque in the middle.
I'm being
Here, this is-
And then, we would you guys, as Prairie Travelers, want to be in a picture too, as a whole group that came today? That would be great.
What I was gonna say is that there isn't a day goes by when there are not hundreds of people using that park, especially in the summer. The amazing thing is the traffic on the trail and also the traffic on the little disc golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing too, so it's been a great addition to our community.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you so much. That is beautiful.
Well, and just in case, anybody's interested, prairiesunsettrail.org if you want to be part of it.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yes, thank you.
It's heavy. No, it is.
Where did you come to back here?
Krista's chair.
Here, just.
Mount it right up here for the country.
Or, yeah, right there.
Again, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
So appreciative of all your efforts over the years. Goddard can have nice things, and that's one of them that we've got in this community. So thank you. Okay, next item. Get my notes here.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, Craig Crossley, your City Manager here. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Julie Stimson and Randy Rayner to discuss the CERT program and the hard work that's going on in emergency management in the county and here in Goddard. Please come on up. There you are.
And I think Craig had mentioned that you did just receive your doctorate, is that
Yes,
correct?
it was actually just confirmed yesterday, so you got the first one.
Okay, congratulations.
We have cake for you.
Don't mind the face on it.
Yeah, first, congratulations to you, Baker, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for giving me a few moments of your time to talk about the Community Emergency Response Team, or what we call CERT. It is a program I am very passionate about. It's a program that I cannot get enough people trained in this program fast enough. Community emergency response is pretty much helping neighbors. That is what happens in disasters. If it's a tornado, storm, flood, anything that disrupts our neighborhoods, who are the true first responders? We are. We come out of our houses, we see damage, we see chaos, we make sure we're okay, and then we check on our neighbors. What the Community Emergency Response Team does is provide some basic training of what those skills could be so you can do that safely. I shared a flyer with you at the end of this month, June 19th through 21st. We're actually going to be here in Goddard at the USD 265 Conference Center. There's a QR code in the webpage on this flyer, but I can leave a few extra copies here. We still have some seats available for the class, but we have 38 signed up already, but only 6 from Goddard. So the idea is we want local folks to come and learn how to safely help each other out when there's times of disasters. So a little bit about this program. It started back actually in the 80s in California, based off of earthquakes in Japan and Mexico. One of the fire chiefs went out to kind of assess the response, because in Japan there was very little fatalities with the rescue workers, but in Mexico they had a lot of fatalities and serious injuries after the earthquake happened, and it was because of the difference between trained and untrained folks and how to do sunlight search and rescue and things safely. So what are some of the topics we talk about? It's a 20-hour class. We do the public sessions in 3 days, a Friday night, all day Saturday, and then the afternoon on Sunday. And some of the topics we talk about is individual preparedness. To have a good community resilient population is we need our individuals to be prepared. We talk about fire safety and utility controls. We actually do have a small fire, and everybody gets to physically use a fire extinguisher. So we hear the acronyms, but it's something different when you have a fire in front of you and you have to pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. So everyone gets to play with fire. Disaster medical operations, we teach basic first aid, how to control bleeding, how to do a head-to-toe assessment on someone to look for injuries. We actually talk about anti-terrorism, and safety of law enforcement. Light search and rescue. We teach folks how they can use cribbage to help elevate surfaces that may be able to get someone free from being in damage. And then we actually even teach disaster psychology. Mental health is real important in disasters, especially when our own homes are disrupted and friends and family that we love are impacted. So even if you don't sign up and can't commit to the weekend, we invite any of you to stop by that weekend. You can observe, ask questions. If you want to sit in a couple sessions, by all means, you're free to. I want to thank you for allowing us to come in your communities. Our goal is to have trained volunteers in all of our communities, because when you're trained, you're also a force multiplier for our first responders. Only so many fire trucks, ambulances, and law enforcement officials can go out when there is widespread disasters. So when we have trusted, trained volunteers in our communities, they can help liaison and help communicate with the first responders where the true priorities need to be. You know, how bad is this area? How bad is this damage? Where do we need to line up resources? We also have an advanced opportunity. So for those who come through the 20 hours, you're free to do whatever you want with that information. We give everyone a backpack with kind of a starter preparedness kit that has like gloves in there, reflective vest, a helmet. And if you don't ever come see us again or volunteer, that's fine. We have some where this kind of gives an appetite and they want more, so we have set up advanced teams, which Randy is one of our team chiefs. That we come together every month and have a meet. I know, right? I sound like he does everything. This is another hat he wears. An advanced team where we do background checks and we do more advanced training, and they're a force multiplier for us and again first responders, but they're community force multipliers. So if you need vetted volunteers to maybe help with traffic control or to help communicate or any kind of volunteer opportunity in your community, these folks have checked out and kind of been vetted. Some of those volunteer units that we have is managing volunteers. So if we have a widespread disaster, everybody wants to help. Our help has to be managed. We can't just have everybody coming up and just doing what they want. We have to safely manage our folks. To help them with damage assessment, outreach, doing community fairs and festivals and talking to people about getting prepared and letting people know that there is an individual responsibility in overall preparedness. And then just helping overall with community events, even just volunteering with traffic control. We just had some folks down at Riverfest helping, with barricades when the parades went through. So it's a force multiplier for everybody, and it's basic skills that I hope everybody learns someday. We're starting to teach some of this in the schools. We just did USD 259 last year as our first teen cert. And it just tells us we're going to do it anyway. We're Kansans, neighbors help neighbors. We just want to give folks training and some safety gear so that way we don't have any secondary injuries or fatalities. So, Randy is actually, he is helping he's our team chief for the auxiliary communications unit. So if all of our communication systems crash, we are still able to use amateur radio, GMRS, and communicate in those ways that do not rely on the internet and do not rely on cell phone signals. Yep.
And we're happy to teach.
So again, if you can't make it, that's fine. If you want to stop by, you see some activity going on or some smoke over by the conference center, June 19th. That's us. We're actually going to have one of our Central County firefighters also training, so that way they can kind of get to know who's in the community and who's going through this training. Appreciate you giving me an opportunity to talk about CERT.
Anybody have any questions?
I just have one. So once these Ballard locals go through the CERT training, does our local police department, will they get a list of these people, or like how do they keep track of that? So if a natural disaster were to occur or something were to happen?
We don't provide a list. We can on request.
Okay.
But they have marked vests that has CERT on them, and then they have CERT helmets.
Okay.
If they're on the advanced team, they're going to have a dark green color like what Randy's wearing that kind of differentiates. It says advanced CERT on there. So that does help our first responder knows who's who. Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Just want to say, Randy, thank you for being the human billboard this evening, demonstrating this shirt. That's been a great
Got
job.
my best side.
I wasn't going to say that. Thank you. And Randy, do appreciate, your service. And several years ago, when Randy first moved here, we had a conversation at the garden we were putting together. There's some of those steel bins that they made the garden out of. And he made a comment about wanting to get more involved. And I came across a notification from one of the, I think it was a REAP group, and so we found a spot for him, and he's starting his second term And specifically, help me with your,
Citizens Emergency Communications Advisory Board.
that's why I didn't try to. But we appreciate you serving in that capacity and joining the community and serving. Thank you.
That's been pretty fun too.
So a couple hats in addition to everything else. So. All right, we'll move along here. And next we've got consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
The motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. Second.
Amanda's made the motion, Naomi seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No questions there, okay. New business.
Honorable Mayor, Council. Craig Crossett here again, your city manager. If I'm speaking loudly, it's because your area has been having some audio issues. I do want to tell you that we are actually planning in the budget for 2027 to completely replace everything in here for our audio and visual and streaming needs, because like you, we too are frustrated about these things not working when they're supposed to. You guys know that we've got a pretty big issue behind City Hall just with the amount of traffic, especially during the day when all the administrative staff are here, all our officers are here. We have court that's exacerbated. It's pretty common for there not to be any spaces available. You'll see us parallel parking along the alley on the east side of the alley. Our employees are instructed not to park on Main Street. We like to keep that available for our citizens and other patrons that are visiting Main Street businesses. And so we're out of parking. It's an issue. And Chief Beagley, who, by the way, we're celebrating 20 years of him today. I don't know why he didn't come up with this idea before. But he mentioned to me, hey, we've got some really nice neighbors to the east. Why don't we inquire with them if they'd be willing to part with some of their property to help soothe the issue that we're dealing with. So had some conversations with the property owner, and they're feeling generous to help the city out with the issue we're facing. And so we asked our legal team to put together a parking lot easement agreement and a parking easement that would be filed. Our city engineering firm, Harlan Foraker, did the survey to grab the legal description, and we gave the paperwork to our neighbors, and they signed it. So tonight we would ask the council to approve acquiring that parking easement. So based on our measurements, we think we can add 9 angled parking spots back there, which I think would solve our issue for many years to come, especially as we move our police department up north. So at any rate, it's about 20 feet by 210 or so, and based on the math, it was 9 spots, angle spots. So we have not put together a budget or a plan for actually building the parking at this time, whether it'll be in-house or if we contract it out. Once we throw some numbers together, we'll either try to tackle it this year, or if we have to look to budget for 2027, we'll do it then. But at this time, we just wanted to get the easement secured. So I'd be glad to take any questions if the council has any. Oh, I guess I should add, it's $3,000, that's the financial impact. We'll have some closing costs, and of course we have the cost for legal and the surveying as well. So not consequential as far as those amounts are concerned. Legal teams approved it as before. All we're asking is that you approve the easement purchase agreement attached in Exhibit A.
Just the only other comment is we need to build a fence for him too.
That is right. We are going to put a new fence there on the new property,
Just
shared
getting rid of
property
the
line,
house, yeah.
and a gate so he can mow his lawn. And maybe ours.
And you know what? Get the lawnmower fired up.
Yeah.
So I got one other question. It talks about drainage as part of when we put it in. Is that assuming that any drainage that our concrete or anything would cause would drain back towards the alley and not onto their property?
We want to make sure that we're not creating a new issue with drainage. So we'll have our city engineer take it further than just the boundary survey that's been done thus far. We'll get a topographical survey, and we'll probably have them put together a plan to account for the flow of stormwater.
Right.
Do we know, I'm just gonna ask, like, what is it like when it rains back there right now? I mean, I know.
That area is not bad, but
Okay.
honestly, the water shedding off of the parking lot back here right now goes right into our garage. So we end up with puddles in the garage every time it rains because of the water coming off the existing alleyway.
I think anytime you have new construction is an opportunity to fix a current issue.
Yeah.
So when we go back there, certainly during an active rain event, there's gonna be some water, I think.
Yeah.
What we don't want to see is the standing water for days on end afterwards, so, but we'll work with our team to try to address that.
Good questions? Anything else?
I think they got it.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion
I will make a motion to approve the easement purchase agreement attached in Exhibit A.
Deanna's
Second.
made the motion. Amanda seconds again. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Okay, one down, one to go.
Good evening. Kevin Challen, Gilmore Road, City Bond Council. Next item relates to a public hearing and then an authorizing ordinance for electric system improvements at Rachel Brook Estates Addition Phase 3. The background, and we talked about this before, is that because this is not city-owned infrastructure, the process is a little different than what you see a lot with special assessments. We use the Community Improvement District statute, which allows you to do special assessments, but to do so, when you receive a petition, you call for a hearing with an intent resolution, give notice of the hearing, hold the hearing, and then you can pass an ordinance that creates the district. It's a little different than what you normally do with city infrastructure, which is just petition and resolution of the city. So last month, petition was submitted by the property owner. Sufficient petitions, 100% of the property owners, developer submitted it asking for these electric system improvements to be specially assessed. That again triggered the intent resolution. The city adopted it. It's been published twice on the city's website, which is the prerequisite. So the notice of the hearing has been given, and that leads to tonight, where you're going to be asked to hold a public hearing and then consider an ordinance. Financial, nothing different than what you normally have when you're financing improvements, so nothing tonight will really cause any expenses to be incurred, but eventually there will be temporary notes issued by the city for the improvements, and then we'll go through special assessment proceedings and permanent bonds at some point. I prepared the proceedings, including the petition and the intent resolution in accordance with the CID Act. So, in terms of the roadmap tonight, if you're willing, open public hearing in connection with the advisability of the Rachel Brooks Estates Community Improvement District Phase 3 Electric. Close the public hearing after folks have had an opportunity to speak. You can waive the reading of the ordinance by voice vote, and then the ordinance, again, sort of replaces what we normally do with a resolution. It will create the district. It will authorize the improvements, the financing, and the imposition of special assessments, and that gets recorded with the Register of Deeds, and as I said, published. So I will stop there. Happy to address any questions you may have.
Now, you? Corey, you good? I'll make a motion to open the public hearing. Get a second.
Okay.
Naomi seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You've opened public hearing. It's an opportunity to come forward and speak. Just seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Get a second.
Second.
And the seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. It is kind of a cut and dry procedure.
It is.
For infrastructure that.
I'll be honest with you, I think the notice of hearing relates primarily, I think this is what the legislature had in mind, is if it's a new sales tax, and you do have CID sales taxes sometimes, this is not it. And if you weren't doing the general obligation financing, it wouldn't require, I mean, it's a little bit convoluted, but I think those two things, special assess, or the fact. Normally you'd have a sales tax requires the hearing, statute doesn't recognize, this is a little different. And so, yes, it's more than what you normally deal with,
All right.
it's just because it's slightly different.
Nobody's missing anything, we're not sliding anybody.
Well, so he's got a plan, I mean, I read through it, but it says it has to be within 5% of the construction cost amount in here, and there's no community improvement district sales tax levied on the property within this Rachel Brook Estates. So,
Okay,
that's good to me.
very good.
I'll make a motion to waive the reading of ordinance.
Second.
It's moved and seconded, waive the reading of the ordinance. Corey made the motion, Naomi seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance attached. Creating the Rachel Brook Estates Community Improvement District.
Amanda's made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Corey seconds, roll call.
Councilmember Dirk,
Yes.
Councilmember White,
Yes.
Mayor Lee,
Yes.
Councilmember Leonard.
Yep. Yes.
Ordinance 1049.
10:49, very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next batter. City manager's report.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, Craig Crossley, your city manager here. Real quick, as you know, we're here to celebrate a special leader in our group tonight. So just want to give another round of applause to Chief Beasley for 20 years of dedication to service. We're very thankful to have his leadership and his dedication, keeping our community safe and protecting our health and welfare. So here's to another 20 years, Chief. Thank you. Fiscal year.
All right. Let's do it.
Fiscal year 2027 budget workshops. We've got two that are coming up here pretty quick later this month. Tuesday, June 23rd at noon, and Wednesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. These should already be on your city council calendars, so hopefully not new news to you, so to speak, but we've got a flyer in the back over there that folks can take. We'll start really pushing it out on social media this week, and we'll share it a few times before we start the hearings, so, the workshops. Community events weather policy, I've got an abbreviated version of our policy. This will go in the bylaws for the committees for our different community events. So I think the main points in here that our events are rain or shine. We've got a lightning meter. We will refer to National Weather Service and tornado watches. And then it's going to be at the city manager's discretion after receiving a recommendation from the committee chair and community engagement directors, who should be providing me with the recommendation as a result of their conversation with their committee members. So that's going to go into effect immediately and apply to all the events going forward. City Hall hours, so we're proposing an hour change. We're going to go from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So as our staff grows, we've now got 6 people in the front office, and it can be a little bit of pandemonium up there with all the activity that's going on. You got community engagement, building inspector, accounts payable, utility billing clerk, construction manager. All of that's going on in a small office space, and it creates opportunities for errors and omissions when there's a lot of activity going on. And so the idea is, one, we've directed the staff that if you're going to be having verbal conversations up there, or if you're just visiting, please take that to the back of City Hall so we're not distracting others. And then also we want quiet hours for our city staff, so they're not having interruptions while they are doing their work, having meetings, etc. So in 2026, pretty much all the business that you could want to do with the City of Goddard can be handled remotely, either through our app or our website. Now, we respect and value the fact that there are some folks out there that prefer doing business in person. If they are unable to do that between 9 and 4 p.m., give us a call and we'll try to schedule an appointment with you to handle whatever it is necessary. We do have a Dropbox. If you like to pay your bill in person too, you don't want to do it online, you can put your check in our Dropbox and avoid fees and those types of things. So if there's any questions about that, I'd be glad to take those. Public Works facility, lots of progress going on out there. You can see they've got Some of the walls are going up. We're supposed to get a lot of rain this week, so not sure if they're gonna get to the slabs. The sewer utility is almost in. I think they're getting ready to start working their way south on that, so it's getting good out there. But the rain is certainly a challenge. Legacy Bank Park groundbreaking. So we got rained out last week. I don't know if you saw Danny's cool video with the blue umbrella. We got lots of comments on, but we're gonna have a beam hanging ceremony in lieu of the groundbreaking, and the beam hanging will probably be here in a few months. We'll do a big celebration out there. The dignitaries will sign the beam as it's hooked to the crane before they lift it up, and it'll be a nice photo opportunity, and actually you'll get to see some progress on the project, and it'll be open to the public for them to come see that too. Got a police department. We still have a patrol officer vacancy. Public Works, we've got a maintenance technician 1 vacancy. That used to be what we call a public works laborer. We've had some title changes as of late. Hawkins Lane, the landscape and plantings, they should begin tomorrow. And then the HOA monument sign, I was told, would start no later than June 5th. So we're kind of taking care of the last few items out there. Guiding Goddard Comprehensive Plan, we went live last week, so it's real simple, guidinggoddard.com. You can go take this community questionnaire. It's got all the information on the timeline and the different engagement opportunities that are to come. Our Deputy City Manager, Ryan Schrack, and Community Development Director, Micah Scoggin, along with our consultant team, Olson, have done a fantastic job getting this thing loaded up and ready to go. They're going to be out there at the Sunday, June 14th Main Street Market from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at booth 18, engaging our neighbors where they're at. So really excited about that. I'm a big believer in piggybacking, where there's already going to be a lot of folks congregating to go out and getting that information and getting our neighbors' opinions and their guidance as to how they'd like our community to look over the next decade. The emergency operation plan development, very timely with Dr. Stinson and Randy in the room tonight. So we've been working on our essential function surveys. There's 3 of them that I want to continue to develop further. Basically, each department fills out this very robust Excel sheet, and it kind of helps make the meat up of the emergency operation plan. So we're continuing to punch away at that. I think we have another meeting coming up in a week. There will be a community engagement opportunity with that item. I also want to note, I think there'll be at some point when we're developing that document that we'll want to give Dr. Stimson a call and ask her, how do we plug CERT into this and how does that work? And please also know that your senior staff, and I even have had a couple council members, are attending some of the fantastic training that Sedgwick County Emergency Management is putting on for us, so we are prepared when we get the call. As Dr. Stimson would say, disasters begin and end locally, so it's really important that we're going to those trainings as they're provided and that we get these 2 plans developed. Wichita Area Builders Association, WABA, will be present at the June 15th council meeting to engage the governing body on the R2 design standards resolution. Our city staff and legal team will be meeting in the coming days to continue refining the design standards with a focus on adjustments for sound absorption, storm shelters, also timely, water softeners, and limiting duplexes to curved roads versus straight. That was one that came up from one of the builders. They said, if you can, try to get the duplexes on a linear curve versus on the straight streets, which kind of makes it seem a little repetitive door after door. So the plan is that if the council wants to make any minor adjustments within the margins based on the dialogue they have with WABA on the 15th, we can incorporate those, and we'll have a few weeks to do that before then coming back on Monday, July 6th to adopt the resolution. We would do it the 4th Tuesday, but that is dedicated to a big budget workshop that we're really excited to have with you all. The contractor will begin work on the water looping project Monday, June 22nd on Spruce, Pine, and Oak from the park to 3rd Street. The neighboring property owners have been notified, but we will continue to follow up with them just to make sure they are ready for that work to come. We want to make sure we're communicating early and often. And I have a feeling this general contractor is going to do a really good job of keeping the adjacent neighbors informed based on the first impression I got. 2026 roadway projects, they're going to start curb cuts on Spruce, Pine, Oak, and 4th Street. They had some availability come up in their schedule, and I made the decision that let's get out there, and our team did, to go ahead and start that work. Our neighbors are going to be getting a little bit of short notice, but sometimes it's challenging to get the contractors to get to work and to stay on the site. If we can get them there, let's get them there. So they're going to be contacting the citizens tomorrow, and we'll try to get something on social media. As I'm told by our public works director, the curb cuts are not that intrusive, but we want to get them out there to start work, and they're going to be working really closely with the general contractor on the water looping project, because we're going to kind of be working in the same area. So, but I'm sure they'll be communicating appropriately as that work progresses. The Willows Ridge project, you've probably seen a lot of activity going on there in the southeast corner of 183rd and Maple. 7 of 50 working days complete. Micro mobility device ordinance. If you're wondering what in the world that is, it's those electric scooters and go-peds and bikes that you see people zooming around on. We had a citizen come during citizen comment expressing some concern. We're seeing a lot of that happening unsupervised and on public roads. It's a danger to the rider, which is usually a young person from what I've seen, and it's also a danger to the traveling public. So Chief Beagley and our city attorney and myself, we've been looking at something. There's other communities that have these ordinances, so we're not reinventing the wheel here. But starting to just get a growing concern that there's a lot of that going on, and it's super dangerous, so we want to try to regulate it a bit and get on top of it before somebody has an accident. 167 to 23rd Street, I get lots of questions about that one. The street, excuse me, it should say sanitary sewer lift station and force main. We got the engineering drawings last Monday. Our third-party engineering consultant that the city hires has completed their review and comment. They submitted their comments back, I think, a week later. And so I was told that they would be advertising that project for bid this week, and that it would be in construction in June and done sometime in October. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that timeline stays pretty close to what was most recently shared with us. And we'll start seeing some home sites under construction out there in the next few months. So a few upcoming agenda items. We're working with Harlan and CED on the preliminary engineering contract for 2027 roads. That's going to be Spruce, Pine, and Oak from 3rd up to the highway. Two-family structure sound separation ordinance. So if you're wondering why you're seeing that here as well as in the two-family structure resolution, it's because the resolution is only going to apply to newly zoned R2 districts. And the feedback we've gotten from council and our thought among city staff is that we should probably start requiring the sound separation more immediately. So we felt a little confident that we had it right until about a week ago. We started getting some different feedback on that, so we're kind of working through the kinks on it. Hopefully we'll have an ordinance in front of you on June 15th for the sound separation, and that would apply to any new building permits that are pulled once it's been codified. Code meeting procedure governing body manual, we actually do have a final draft of that. We're just looking for a good time to present that to the council. Water leak billing adjustment policy, that one's maybe sounds a little new to you because we haven't discussed it much. Other cities, such as the one I served in prior, if you have a residential customer who has a water leak and their bill is $1,500 instead of $60 because all of this water was consumed unbeknownst to them because of a plumbing issue, this water leak policy would create an ability to save them some money on that issue. We want them to prove that it's been fixed and prove that there was a leak situation that they're unknown to have, and they can not have to pay that full amount. Right now we don't have anything to do to deal with that, and so it's been pretty black and white that you got to pay the bill because the water went through your meter. We're wanting to create a policy that would allow some flexibility in that. Enterprise Bank North entrance discussion. We've got one department that we need to work with that a little bit. We haven't approached them on it yet, but we've been working with engineering and legal to try to continue addressing some low-hanging fruit on 199th and US 54 to make it more safe and efficient travel. We already talked about the R2 multifamily, and then we've got 4 or 5 personnel manual updates that we'll do in one tranche that we'll bring to you sometime within the next month or two. So that's a look at the current operations, all the fun projects we're working on, and a glimpse into the future, what's to come. We have 17 active residential and commercial projects occurring right now in our small but mighty community. So your staff, while a little weary, we're ambitious and working as hard as we can to continue to take care of all these projects. So we appreciate your confidence and support.
Quick question, the long-awaited study on 199th and Kellogg, we're hoping to see that by the end of May.
The preliminary draft was due on April 24th. When I asked for the preliminary draft, I was told it's close to 75% done, and that I shouldn't have expected it on the 24th because that was when the preliminary draft was due. And then when June 1st came, which was the final draft deadline, it's not midnight yet, but I'm not expecting it this evening. So, Mayor, I got a taste of frustration from you in that question. I don't think it was directed to me. I'm equally frustrated with the consultant that we still haven't gotten that study done yet. I will say it's a KDOT program, and so they got a little more teeth to try to.
And I'm not necessarily pointing fingers at anyone. I just want people to understand that there's a work in process, and that we are working on this project, and we've had a good working relationship this last 2.5 years with KDOT, and in terms of process, this document is really key for moving the whole development and whatever changes need to be made in that intersection. So it's something that hasn't been ignored. We've been waiting patiently, and I guess we'll just be a little more patient. But there's a certain sense of urgency with trying to repair and work on that intersection. So I just thought it'd be good to share that with everyone. So.
I appreciate it. I think, Chief, if I'm not mistaken, we had an injury accident there about 2 weeks ago or less. So it is front of mind, and rest assured I'll be making a phone call and an email tomorrow to keep the pressure up.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Good things come to those who wait. So thank you for the report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Who wants to go first tonight? Corey, that's
All right, well, thanks again, Chief, for 20 years. Hopefully another 20. I'll be around for it, so.
How old were you 20 years ago?
Younger. I also want to thank the Prairie Travelers for their presentation, and thank you for the plaque. It's very nice. Thank you also to the CERT folks for presenting, and we look forward to the training. For both groups, I think, like Craig mentioned, with the comp plan and then also the emergency operations plan, doing some outreach with the community. If your guys' teams or volunteers, if you could help spread that with them to get more of their input, it would be helpful. So just look for all those surveys and opportunities, please. And I think that's it for me.
So I'll start by saying that this is the second council meeting my kids have had to attend, if you can see them over here. And this is also the second council meeting they showed up to, and there's some form of dessert. So they're very grateful to be coming. I'm sure they're going to want to come every time. Congratulations on 20 years. We know you loved it, and the cake with your face on it, and the painting that everyone can see in the hallway, hopefully very, very soon. I just wanted to touch on a couple things tonight. I echo everything you said. Thank you guys for coming. I know that we had a concerned citizen come in a few months ago and discuss these mopeds and just how quickly they go. So I do read all of the Facebook comments, and I know that goes back and forth, but I just want to share, I think that a brain injury does not discriminate, and I think even with a helmet, they can be very dangerous. Anything 2 wheels is very dangerous. So I would encourage everyone, even without the ordinance, to make sure that we're having these talks with our kids, and that they understand that this is probably one of the worst injuries that you could undertake. And so safety matters, that we have a lot of kids that ride the roads, and so I would hate to see something happen to someone there. So that's kind of what I got there.
Very good.
Congratulations, Chief. Thanks for all your service over the last 20 years. Thank you to the Prairie Travelers and Larry. I know sometimes it can be tough listening to the community, because sometimes they can be quite harsh on us, right? Thanks for fighting that, because I'm so glad that we heard that story today, because I had not heard it before. of how the park and the trail came to light. And so thanks for putting up with all of that hate and discontent at the time, because the park is beautiful, the trail is awesome, and I really do think it's a staple to this community and who we are. And I think it brings a lot of joy to a lot of people. I know since we put the garden in there, that trail is used a lot. There's always people walking in, and now they just come into the garden. And thanks for that. Thanks for being part of that and pushing to make that happen, because I think it's very good for our community as a whole. So thank you for that, Larry. And thanks for everybody that keeps that trail up. You're kind of motivated me to maybe come and help with that, because I don't have enough going on. I think I need to shoot here a little bit more. Dr. Stimson and Randy, thanks for coming in and your presentation. I keep saying I need to get out there and do your CERT training. I'm about to retire, so that'll happen sooner rather than later. Probably October, because then I won't have to worry about giving up a weekend, but I'll get out there and get that done, because I think it's a worthy cause. And so thank you for all of the work that you do with that. And man, team, you guys are crushing it. There's a lot going on. I don't know how you guys manage it all. I really don't. There is so much going on, so thank you to all the staff with all of the things that you are tackling. I just want to say like how much I appreciate all the work that you do, because I know that's a lot to juggle. So thank you. And take you back there to our senior secretary. Always come and represent. You're always here, and I love that. I love that. Thank you for being here all the time. That's all I got.
That's all you got. Very good. Chief, again, congratulations. Randy, thank you for helping with the presentation. Just want to encourage anyone that is interested to sign up for the training on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. 6 people from our community have signed up, and it'd be nice to maybe see a few more. And I want to thank Prairie Travelers for the presentation. The plaque is one of a kind, and the little t-shirts. I guess if I'm riding and walking in that trail, everybody will see me now, so good color. But thank you for that gift. That's wonderful. And, just want to encourage everybody. Here we are starting June. There's going to be some construction going on. Just ask all our friends and neighbors to be patient. Craig has said a couple times in the last 6 months, with a little pain and patience comes great things. We can have nice things in Goddard, and starting on the park, and also the work that's being done on out there for the Public Works facility. That's exciting to see, and we'll be putting in the budget to start serious work on the plans for building a police station. So the chief will have a nice place for the next 20 years to be serving us. So we're going to tie some deal in terms of how that works out. We'll negotiate the size of the office. You know, you get a window view, or working with the street, or however that works out. But no, I'm just kidding. But
A new car.
yeah. Yeah.
A private jet.
The private jet is. I'm sorry. If we get a private jet.
You can take a trip on it once a year, though.
Well, anybody can use it on the weekend. I'm not using it. So.
Let's start with the glider.
Right. Glider. I've got a little one, so I'll start with that. Anyway, and if anybody's seriously taking it that seriously, that is a joke. So we're not buying any aircraft out here. So anyway, any other comments? I'll make a motion that we adjourn our meeting this evening. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is closed.
Yep.
Adjourned.
So,